Hello and welcome to Martin Maths. I'm doing a video for my Year 7s and my Year 8s on area of different polygons. So the first one we're going to look at is a rectangle. We're going to look at the area there, which is the most straightforward one, length times width. Okay, then we're going to look at the area of a triangle, and it's half base times the perpendicular height. That's the base, and then it's perpendicular height. Then we'll look at a parallelogram, which again we'll need to know the base and its perpendicular height. Not the length of the slant or the side, but that perpendicular height. And then the last one we'll look at is that of a trapezium. So it's half a plus b, where a and b are the two parallel sides, times that height. Not the side of the slant. Okay, so let's look at this using some different craft utensils. Start off with a rectangle. And we should be able to see that that is the most straightforward one. And it's its length times its width. So you can see the amount of area, space that I've covered, is the length by the width. So that's the basic one we're going to work with. Then when we get to a triangle, if you imagine drawing a rectangle around that, what we've done is we've cut it in half. So if this is the base, or in a rectangle the width, and if this is the height, or in a rectangle the length, I've now got half the base times the perpendicular height. Okay, I've used a right angle triangle to demonstrate, but it would work with any triangle. Half the base times the perpendicular height. Now we're going to look at a parallelogram. Now again, what we need to do here is go back to our basic rectangle. I'm going to get some scissors, and I'm going to cut off a bit of that parallelogram. If I've measured it correctly, I'm going to cut off that triangle there. I'm going to take that, and I'm going to go and glue that over there. And you should be able to see that the shape I've now made, again, is a rectangle. So I'm taking some glue, and I'm gluing on that little bit that I've cut off. And I've made, in effect, a rectangle. So if that was the parallelogram there, and I've cut it out, now made a rectangle. And if we go back to the basic length times width for a parallelogram, I've not changed this, which we'll call the base, but I've taken that bit off there, and I've now got that as the height. So it's base times height, not the slant, but the perpendicular height. Then another one to look at is the trapezium. So here again, we want to make it into a rectangle, because we know that's just length times width. So I'm going to, again, use some scissors and cut off a little bit of that edge there. And again, I hope I've got it right. Cut that off there. And that little triangle there. And cut off that. And glue it. Take that. Glue it there. Sorry, the glue's not very good. I won't tell you the brand. Okay, glue it up there. And then I'd go over here, and on that other side, I'm also going to cut off a little triangle. I'm going to take that little triangle, and I'm going to piece it in over there. And you can see what shape have I made there. Hopefully you can see that I've again made a rectangle. So what are the dimensions of that rectangle? Well, it's definitely the height that I want, But then as for the length, I don't have either of the A or the B, but I've got the average of the two of them. So, how do we get an average? We do half. So if that was A, we do half the sum. So we've got the average of those two sides. We don't have A or B, we've got what's in between them to make that rectangle. And so then, instead of length, we've got half A plus B. Instead of width, we've got height. Okay, so there we go. There's some demonstrations of rectangle area, triangle area, parallelogram area, and a trapezium area. Just to show you those formulae again. On the chalkboard, length times width, all that space in there for the rectangle. For a triangle, if you have half that base, and I move it over there, I've now got that rectangle there. This one here for a parallelogram, it's base times height. If I cut off that triangle there and I put it there, I again get a rectangle. And if I cut off a little bit of that triangle there and a little bit of that triangle there, move it up there, and I've got, excuse me, another triangle there. So it's half A plus B times the height. So there we go. There's some demonstrations using chalk and paint and cutting and gluing for 4 polygon areas. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.